Alright, greetings and salutations everyone. For those of you who don't know, my name is Samius, and I would like to take on a special challenge as I'm doing this particular TR life as part of my normal Twitch stream rotation. And what I want to do, I have a friend of mine, Tobrel, who likes to make certain comments to me, like, man, I wish so-and-so would teach me how to do X quest. And it's like, Arr. Or things like, when are you going to do your A to Z? So, I'm not going to do an A to Z. I'm not going to show you the ins and outs of every class. I'm not going to show you all that weird stuff. Instead, what I want to do is I want to combine these different comments together and create a series where basically you can go if you need a walkthrough for a quest or how I do a quest or whatever. So basically, if you are looking for some help on how to achieve victory somewhere, this is what we're going to do. So, this is the first half of the series, what I'm going to call the road most traveled. This is how I most often get from level 1 to level 20. Usually takes me about a week of game time. Sometimes a little more, sometimes a little less, depending on what else I have going on through the week, throughout the stream. So I normally stream roughly 8 hours a day, give or take. So, and 4.5 days, sometimes 5 days. So if you kind of think of it like that, roughly 40-ish hours to level. That is not a fast leveling process by any stretch of the imagination. A lot of people level faster than me. But I have a couple of things that I dislike doing and a couple of things I really like to do. And we're going to kind of talk about all those things as we go through the process of following me level from the most common. Now, after we go through this life, the other parts of this is going to be what I'm going to call the road less followed and then the road not followed. And basically what that means is I'm going to show you how I level from 1 to 20. I'm going to do like a bunch of quests that I always do every single life. And then the next go through, I'm going to start doing quests that I don't normally do. So you can kind of get an opportunity to see those quests. So right now, you're going to notice a couple of things to start with. One, Samus, you're already level 3. That is true. But, if I can pull up the correct button, you will notice over here that the only quests that I have done are the Storehouse Secret, the Cannith Crystal. That is the only quest that I've done. How did I get here? Well, I'm a person who saves their daily dice rolls, and I save my gold rolls, and that's how I get there. And that's just how I do. So I like to skip level 1 if I can, go straight to level 2. Sometimes I like to skip level 2 and go to level 3. And that is what I chose to do this life, is to skip to level 3, because things are going to be a little bit wonky. There's plenty of low-level quests, and it'll be fine. We'll figure it out. So, why am I starting in Korthos when there's a brand new starter zone? Well, the main reason is that I want to get my 5-cent cake, or whatever you want to call it. And also, because I'm an inquisitive this life, I want to be able to get the rune arm. It doesn't matter that much. Oh, I shouldn't say just inquisitive. Because I'm an artificer inquisitive, I want to get the rune arm. I think by the time we're done, we'll probably be pretty close to level 4, and I can just use one of the rune arms I have at level 4. So it may not last for very long, but we're going to get it anyway. And also, we need to do those quests. Another thing you might notice is I am not alone. I have Frenzy with me. The reason I have Frenzy is twofold. One, this is how I do it pretty much every life. Frenzy will basically solo the quest for you as long as you walk in and get in there and get started. Or you can get the level 2 hireling, or if you want to start at level 1, the level 1 hireling does a pretty good job as well. You can pick up level 3 hirelings from the harbor if you have a little bit of gold to start with, or in the level 2s in the harbor. If not, you can find the guys in here in Korthos. This puzzle, pretty easy puzzle. I'm not necessarily going to step through every single thing. When there's a quest that does something interesting, I will talk about it. and kind of get into the details, or if there's multiple ways to accomplish a quest, or whatever you want to talk about. Anything that's special about a quest, we'll take a look at it as we hit it. But otherwise, I'm just going to proceed through the quest like I normally proceed through. Again, this is part of my regular Twitch stream, so people are going to be jumping into and out of the chat, possibly. I'll be keeping an eye on the text chat. I probably will not engage with text chat until after the video is over, which is not a very good representation, but I wanted to kind of give you guys a rough idea of what questing, as my questing looks like. So, as we kind of mindlessly charge through these first few quests, let's take a look at the gear, in addition to the fact that we are very much using a level 3 Barbarian Hireling set on attack mode to basically mindlessly not have to worry about this quest. So, the first important thing is I have an anger set from previous lives. I like the anger set, the ability to get that little bit extra saving throw, that little bit extra to hit from the set. It's very good. I don't need the clicky of Expeditious Retreat because I happen to have a Quiver of Alacrity as well. But if you didn't have a Quiver of Alacrity, you could easily be taking advantage of the anger set boots as your way to run around the quest. It is not a big deal at all. Let's talk about this real quick. If you break this altar before the bad guys do, you're going to get an optional experience of between 80 and 86 experience points, depending on what all you have going on. One last piece of gear that I happen to have. This is like my 80th, 1000th TR, however manyth. One of the things that I have is I happen to have a Jade Ring at level 0, obviously, level 1, slotted with a Master's Touch. That is an augment that gives you plus 5% experience. I could craft a different ring, and I probably should, but I just happen to like that one, so I have not changed it since then. And then after that, I basically just put gear on as it comes about. Again, at level 4, there's some gear we'll talk about. Here and there, there'll be some stuff, but mostly the rest of the stuff is just whatever. I don't really worry about it. I'll put this on just in case it saves me some damage. Like I said, none of this stuff really matters that much in the grand scheme of things. We're on a ranged build. We're basically going to turn on our auto attack and forget about it, and just call things a dead, really. Frenzy here will slaughter through stuff pretty good. I do have a couple other things. I do carry around some tasty hams. I happen to like the tasty hams, particularly at low levels, but also in times where I need to like step away from the computer for a second and I just would like to heal up. I have a Ellery, which we'll talk about Ellery the first time we actually use an Ellery. Let's see, some other important things here. I have quite a bit of miscellaneous gear here, including some plus 5 thieves tools from previous lives. A lot of these things are easy to come by. If you don't have access to some of these things, I'm sure you can find someone or send someone a tell. If you happen to be on Solona, my server, you can send me a tell. I'll send you some starting plat. It doesn't matter. None of this stuff is important. Just get started. Just get started. Alright. That gives us our tamper bonus. Aggression bonus is well underway. You can also go for the quicker, more efficient experience. I don't want to break that if I can help it right now. I'm going to try to kill all these guys. Oh, he's not here because I told him to stay over there. Probably one of these videos we'll talk about hirelings as well, but not this one. Alright, we got Onslaught. Boo, just Onslaught. There's lots of other bonuses, mostly the breakable one, but I don't do that one a lot for whatever reason. That one rubs me the wrong way in a lot of quests. Some quests I do it, and we'll talk about those quests because they're special. But a lot of quests I just nah. I also mentioned I happen to have a horse. You can get a horse pretty easily yourself from the new starter area, the keep. I'm forgetting the name of it all of a sudden. Keep on the Borderlands, I think. That sounds right to me. Sounds right. Excuse me. I got a little bit of a cold as well. I'll do my best to hit the mute button.
Your waiting bears fruit. This must be the Collaborator stepping from the dark.
Let's see. What else can we actually talk about for things right now? Things that are important. I like to jump up here. No real reason other than gives me the illusion of thinking that I'm a hair safer than any place else. Not really. They'll be happy to hit you anywhere. Those crazy guys. I suppose we could talk about the build and the reason why we picked this build. Part of the reason I want to focus on the parts of the quest that make the quest interesting for people and where people might have some challenges. I don't want to be focused on staying alive or playing some wonky build or doing all the things I normally do on a typical build of mine. Ooh, I forgot to buy. I bought wizard components, but I didn't buy artificer components. Look at me. It's fine. The build is basically an int-based build. At some point very early, I'll reset my enhancements to be inquisitive, but I want to have my int to hit, my int to damage, and I really like the know the angles boost for a little bit extra damage. So we're going to be that way for now because we're really just assisting Frenzy getting through these quests. It's not the other way around at all. Frenzy's doing... I bet if I look at the kill count, yeah, Frenzy's got 11 kills. We have 3. I'm really not doing anything. These quests are not... We're not working very hard. Yeah, like we're auto attack. We missed with an auto attack too. Wow. Look at us. Look at us. I guess the bow I crafted is kind of useful. We should talk about it for a second. This is just a crafted bow that I've made, I don't know, some time ago when Inquisitive first came out, or I started playing Inquisitive. Again, having a little bit of crafting levels is pretty good. I would recommend it if you have not started crafting to take a second and give it a shot. But it's just wholly bludgeoning, and it's set for level 1. Sorry, level 2. Just the lowest possible minimum level, so you can use it as early as possible. Whatever crossbow you happen to find, if it's unselect him, tell Frenzy to work on these guys in the back. Oh, he killed that guy already. Darn, we missed out on a little bit of experience, I think. Not very many, like a couple %. But yeah, none of these quests are hard at all. Getting started in Dungeons & Dragons Online sometimes is daunting. Some of the things I get from people who watch the stream is the game hard to play? Is it difficult? And it all depends on what you want to do and how much consideration you have for what it is you want to do. Again, I've done a lot of these quests literally tens, if not more times. So it's pretty simple. I will go ahead and switch my view so you can see this. I clicked on yes, please. Ooh, these are on sale. Usually when these are on sale, I pick up a few. So I'm going to go ahead and pick up a stack here. Yeah, that doesn't seem like a lot, but you know, normally this would cost me 50 cents over 10 lives, and now it's only going to cost me 37. The low price of me remembering that they're there. That's all. I know, it's weird. I save my pennies where I can, folks. Streamer life. I don't get paid a lot.
Much safer,
Don't judge me.
but only temporarily.
It's fine. You can
It's
judge
time
me.
to take the fight to the Sahuagin.
Alright, so while we run over here, we picked up the quest over there. We picked up this quest over here. Turn in and get our spirit cake. We should have 2! Oh, so sweet. We didn't use our cake from last life. Can you believe it? We were on a monk. So good. So fun. Alright. Let's see. I mentioned we already have a horse. I mentioned that we're doing all these things. I have some fast travel items. But basically, at the end of the day, there's not a lot of stuff here that it's not so important that you can't do it or you couldn't do it with help or whatever. I do primarily solo. I suppose that's something we should talk about. So you'll see things from the point of view of the soloer. Can I please get in the quest? Thank you. So sometimes that may or may not be an issue. Some quests may be quicker or slower or more difficult or easier because I am mostly solo. I'm going to put my guy on standstill mode because there'll be spawns behind us. He'll clean those up. The quests are, depending on a lot of factors, the quests will do different things. Alright, you should have those dead by now. Hi, thank you. There we go. Alright, here we have a choice. The choice is, do we go this way where it's just a matter of defeating enemies? Or do we go this way where it involves jumping through or going over traps? I'm going to go through the traps. Does anyone know how to get unstuck from an area if you jump outside the main play area? Try the command /stuck. What'll happen is you'll get a thing just like this right here, and you just tell it yes, and hopefully that'll pop you back out. Let me know if that helps. Again, answering questions from chat.
The sound of distant snoring.
Let's see, we want to go this way first.
You are not alone here. If you're careful, you may be able to take the sleeping guards by surprise.
Look at Frenzy go. He's just hitting things for like 64 points of damage. He don't care. Frenzy don't care. You're gonna run right through this big trap thing. Raw, look at him. Oh no, he didn't even care. Didn't even care. Barbaria.
The last Sahuagin guard collapses to the floor. But what are they guarding? The extravagant
Okay, we're gonna
gong
close
in
this
room
door.
looks capable of truly ear-shattering noise. With the gong's reverberations,
Ring
you
this
hear a
bell.
rumble from the larger room. But then it's the second strike of the gong produces the telltale sound of cracking.
Any luck, Angry Top Hat, with that? Did that fix the problem? You'll notice a walkway right here. There's another one over there too. Again, most of these initial quests are not that exciting, but this first video is basically going to be titled Road Most Traveled Korthos, so we might as well just finish up the Korthos. Traditionally, when I play myself from level 1 to 20, I won't do these other quests unless I feel compelled to get the favor. Mostly because I'm just really doing them to get the cake. I'm not really doing them to get the experience out of them. But again, the main part of this video is to get you, give you guys a tool that you can go and see all the quests from the point of view of this particular build, or at least something very close to this build. Oh, sweet. You jumped a fence in Cannith and ended up in an area you're not supposed to be in, apparently. Got stuck between a invisible wall and a fence. Yeah, that's exactly what Slash Stuck is really great at doing. Hey, thanks for the follow, my friend. Appreciate that.
Ahead is the giantish
Right.
box.
So, I'm going to show you that there are 2 trap boxes back here. But I'm also going to show you a trick if you're not a trapper. Okay, but you have a hireling with you. If you highlight this puzzle tile, any one of these puzzle tiles that are highlighted, and you tell it's down here in your puzzle tile, wait for this jet to go across, and then tell your hireling to go interact with it, boop, run over there and he'll turn it once. Or she, whichever your hireling is, and then same thing. I will still go ahead and disable these control boxes to see if I can get the bonus, but we'll see what happens. If you jump around the tops of houses, you can get outside of town, apparently. Yeah, you got to be careful with certain things. It'll get you. All right, so this particular puzzle is special for my friend Tobrel. So what we're going to do is we're going to come around and over this way.
But it's not enough. You need both jets to affect a thing of this size.
Oh, got a lag spike and I spun that one twice. My bad. Now we'll turn around and go through here. Alright. I was just double checking there's no collectibles. So there we go. Easy peasy. Some of these are taking a little longer than they should. When you zerg like crazy, these quests take like a minute. Sometimes 2 tops. We're being a little bit slower.
Steam billows from the hidden entrance.
No good reason, just because I'm being slower. Now. I'm somebody who's come around hardcore on the horse. I didn't think it was necessary, but I do so many things in the Explore Zone, around Explore Zones. I'm really glad they gave it to us. It's been a good addition to the game.
A mangled sewer grate leads to an old abandoned Cannith manufactory. You enter one of the laboratories where decades ago, House Cannith first imbued mystical light. The doorway ahead has been boarded up.
I shoot crossbows so hard I break doors. Alright. Again, these are designed to be more of a walkthrough, so I'm gonna do my best to kind of show off all the things. Part of the reason I picked this build again. Alright, search. If you don't have like a zillion pass locks, you may have to have some thieving equipment to help you get to certain values. Guess we should talk about that. I tend to not need to worry about thieving tools, or not thieving tools, you have to have thieves tools. Thieving gear like search items, spot items. I do occasionally use a spot item. Disable device items, stuff like that. I tend to be able to not worry about it, but sometimes you do. Alright, so this door that I opened up and turned that valve, and this over here valve that I turned, they turn off poison jets that you can see over here, and I think there's like another one here. It turns those off so you can walk through if you are fleshy without having to worry about getting poisoned. I'm going to go over here because there's another trap box though. If you are somebody that gets poisoned, you can drink a poison, proof against poison, or neutralize poison potion. You'll get like 10 seconds of poison immunity. Poisons, traps that only poison you, that give you the status ailment poison, you can drink those. The poisons, traps that do damage, sometimes you won't take damage from them, sometimes you will. It's a little bit weird and wonky. The main one we're going to talk about will be in several levels, and I'll mention that again when we get there. But it's a good idea to carry around a couple of poison potions whenever possible. Alright, so inside this room is going to be a shrine where we can, of course, rest, and a valve. This valve will open this door back here. You can, of course, pick this door open with your massive thief skills, but I'm not a fan of doing that. You're going to see a lot of these teeny tiny little valves, and you got to turn those valves. So here's number 1. Number 2 will be over here on this side. You don't have to turn them in this particular order, but this is the way I do it. It seems to be the least likely to cause me trouble. Least likely to like skip one or get hurt. These cold jets do hurt pretty good at this level. We'll turn Frenzy on. He'll come over here and smash all these crystals like crazy. Now that the things are turned off.
The hum of power slowly fades into a heavy silence.
Alright. I will not probably bother with this myself, but I'm going to show you where it's at. If you open this door, now that the crystal is turned off, you come in here, open this door, and you have to pick this door open, and there's a chest that you can loot. I am not going to mess with it, because there's no reason right now to loot low-level chests. It's not like the Christmas event or anything weird, so we'll just move on. Who in the flame are you? Like this guy. We will set our hireling to guard Lars here. Turn on auto attack. I'll turn on the angles, and I'm just gonna basically hit my tab next enemy button. Something I recommend is if you if you can get some sort of mouse with thumb buttons, it doesn't really matter which one. The one that I happen to like is the Logitech 6600 something. It's got a lot of buttons on the thumb. I honestly don't use them all for DDO. I use basically target next enemy, target next not enemy, and I need to get in the habit of hitting like the use button. And then I have some of them set up for quick bars down here, but I really don't use them all that much. So like this button is the 7 button, that button's the 8 button, so on and so forth. Apparently that one's changed my toolbars up and down. Like I said, I don't hit a lot of these very often. But I do really recommend, especially if you decide to do like a ranged build, and use a hireling, kind of like what I'm doing right now, to just, again, ease your ways through some of these quests. I'd recommend that you set up a easy way to target through the enemies, target through the enemies. Still makes me mad that this is not an actual collectible thing. Do we actually get... No, I should have known better. Alright, we'll loot this chest that magically has spawned while our back was turned. We're going to talk to Lars here. Lars is going to talk a whole bunch. We're going to hit the recall button right now.
With Heyton finally persuaded to help, the people of Korthos might finally win their struggle.
You can actually start recalling a little bit earlier, but if you listen to the audio where he starts talking about the let's see if I can actually find the actual line here. When he talks about Amalgam meeting you at the base of Misery's Peak, you can have TR'd, or not TR'd, but you can bounced out of there, or started to bounce out of there. That's the clue that I listen for personally. When he says Lars, or however you say that guy's name.
Are slightly obscured by the falling water. You enter a musty hall, heavy with silence.
If you guys end up having any questions, feel free to leave them in the chat box below. I will be happy to kind of hit them. These will go in a big playlist. I'll do my best to keep an eye, or put in the comments which quests we did as well. The first one's going to be very easy because it's whatever we end up doing, but in the future I'll try to take a little bit of notes. He's busy cleaning up bats. Alright, come on, let's go. Get in here. Oh, I turned off my auto attack for some reason. Yeah, this is not my typical way of playing. I'm not a big run around with my auto attack on and just thumbing things, but wanted to give a extremely extremely low stress situation. I do get quite a few people asking about how to do certain quests and how to actually get into Dungeons and Dragons, how to actually start playing. And I just want to show people that it's very, very easy to kind of get going. This is not the build that I would necessarily recommend for people right out of the gate. It does require a few add-ons or purchases, but they are worthwhile purchases if you decide you'd like to play Dungeons and Dragons. Most people who have played a couple of lives will have some of these things too. Oh, things are... Oh no, all these frozen things are secretly zombies.
Stands before you, not alive, but not quite dead. He cackles as he swears vengeance upon you. Drexelhand spits a curse and swears to return again before collapsing in a heap of bones. You take the self from his remains.
Alright. Now we can come rescue this lovely maiden. Alright, again, if you happen to have open locks and you would like to take a chance, this chest holds an opportunity for like a shield glove clicky, which is pretty good, and a UMD glove, which is also pretty good if you need a little assistance with your use magic device. It's a reasonable skill to take the opportunity to invest in, so you can use like heal scrolls, raise dead scrolls, etc. You will probably see me carry all those things around. Again, particularly on this build, as I will have access to full UMD. It'll just be a matter of when I can able to free up points to start dumping in there. Aha! Look at that! Frenzy killed a rare encounter out in the Explorer Zone trying to get to us. Wasn't that nice of him? The best.
This entrance leads down into an ancient Cannith Aqueduct.
This quest, the Cannith Aqueduct, is a little tricky sometimes to get stepped into. Just give it a couple of clicks. If you need to clear your aggro, don't hesitate to do that. I think I have to undo my weapon here and punch these down. So let's talk about what I just did for those of you who may not know. You can grab any of these weapon slots and you can make weapon pairs. So like if you're two-handed fighting, you can put like one big sword in there, but you really don't necessarily need to do that like I'm doing here. This is a two-handed item. You really don't need to mess around that much with a weapon set, right? But when I get a rune arm, which is a special thing that artificers can use, I will make weapon sets. If I was using two weapons, say I had a weapon in each hand, then I could set up pairs based off of that. Weapon sets. So say I wanted two different swords that I may just happen to have. And one's fire and one's ice. Sometimes I want to put the fire one in my main hand. Sometimes I want to have the ice one in my main hand. Sometimes I want to have the fire one and a non-ice stick for some reason. I don't know. Whatever. But you get the idea that that's what these are for. So in my situation, I don't have a weapon. A melee weapon. So I would have to go up here and unequip to be able to punch things. Or I just grab one of these green slots that says nothing in either hand. And then I can drag that to my bar and get a weapon. The reason I paused here while I was explaining that is because this secret door, or this door down here, is locked. Again, you pick it open as you're with an open locks or a knock spell or whatever. And there's a chest down there. Again, I'm not worried about treasure, so we're not... Okay, I'm not worried about this treasure. I like treasure. I'm a treasure guy. But we don't need to... We don't need to, like, run through those kind of treasure chests right now. Alright. Also, I'm going to stay up here on the top. I'm going to jump around. Jump around. But I'm going to show you this door down here. This door down here is opened by a valve. And inside there is a shrine in case you need to sleep. But down here is an ambush. I want to skip this ambush as much as possible. So I'm going to hug these pillars up top. Now I'm going to come over here because there's a chest. But you'll see the optional pop-up, put the skeletal mage to rest. This, I'm not going to lie, this guy can be pretty tough. But we have Frenzy. Frenzy's way tougher. I didn't even have to attack. Frenzy just killed it. Again, I did not necessarily need that chest, but we took the time to kill the guy. We wanted the experience, so we might as well loot the chest. Let's see, our spot went off. Let's look around, see what we see. Oh no, a trap! Okay, trap is down. The trap is a slicey blade that comes out and these spikes that come up. But the blade doesn't come all the way across. It comes to like here-ish maybe. So if you don't have the ability to disable the traps, you can just come all the way over here and hug this wall and run through. And you'll be fine. Or you just don't feel like wasting a thieves tool to open to disarm the trap. Either way is valid options. We're not going to get a trap bonus apparently in this quest. Seems odd to me because there's only one trap as far as I know, but we're going to go and shoot these guys just to see if I can get this. Boo, hiss. No bonus for killing all the monsters? Samus, no likey.
The evil cult leader will spill innocent blood no more.
Alright, there's a reasonable chance that the Orisa will be here, which is why I was checking those things. She was not, so we're going to carry on. We're going to carry on anyway to rescue all the villagers, but it's fine. You're going to hear me say that's fine a lot, probably. Almost an irritating large amount. Apologize. Alright, many people were freed this day. And you'll notice a lot of these experience optionals take a pretty long amount of time compared to how long the quest takes if you don't do them. So you can just burn through real fast. Burn through real fast. Alright, we have one more quest in Korthos Village. So we're gonna get our rune arm,
You're finding Heyton
which we talked about.
the
So
village. It seems
I don't
as if
remember which
all
of these slots
Korthos
actually
were
we
holding out for news of your next great
equipped.
victory with
Yeah,
bated
that's
breath.
that one. So we're going to grab this slot for that rune arm. So now we have a weapon set that matters. We have 1 rune arm. Yay, go us. We'll pick up miscellaneous. So we just were asked about what we're doing. So this is a series I'm recording for YouTube, but I'm also streaming it as part of my regular YouTube stream. And it is to basically show off, basically have a series of videos that people can reference as like for walkthroughs. Let's check the time. 23 minutes, lots of time. More than enough time to get to the end quest. Here's the end reward for that first quest. I'm just going to ride past it. I don't need this funny hat. I already have this awesome hat. This party hat. Yeah. Oops. Trying to reply to the text while we're auto running through the quest can be dangerous. Right, so here's the other half of that quest giver. Talk to that guy twice and we get the Misery's Peak. The first at the beginning, the second time here. Look at our crossbow bolt just hanging out. Just hanging out.
A bone-chilling breeze emanates from the mouth
All
of
right.
Misery's Peak.
Nope. We don't want that. We don't want that hireling. We could use this hireling, but we're not going to use this hireling yet. We'll talk about that hireling later when it's important. All right, let's get a move on. I'm here. Let's go. I don't need your awesome story. Let's go. Things to do. All right, we're going to turn on some Zerg mode here. This quest is pretty much straightforward. Run through the quest, kill the things. There's going to be some levers to pull on, some switches to go up. We'll look at those when they come up, but I'm just going to run through the quest. This quest is super long, and even if I Zerg through it, it's still going to take like way too long. So we're just going to run through it. This is a quest that I normally, I only do when I feel like, again, I feel like I need the favor. And I always feel like if I'm going to bother to get the favor, I'm going to get the experience out of the favor as well. So that's the kind of sigil doors that you have. There'll be a couple of guys tied to their spirits around a force field. You'll get in there. Asking about the build. The build is a 2 arty, and it'll be 18 wizard build. It'll be an inquisitive based build. We'll probably have quite a few points in Eldritch Knight. We'll have a few points in Pale Master. Maybe more than a few. We'll kind of see how it goes. Play it by ear. So we're gonna let the NPC kind of take care of the main things. We're gonna hit these dwarf zombies. We're gonna hit this other zombie. Wink, and we're out of here. Frenzy will take care of all that nonsense for us back there. I'm not worried about it. This right here takes you to is an optional. Again, I normally would not bother doing these optionals, but we're going to do them anyway, because walkthrough time. Walkthrough time.
By a pair of signal crystals. Hopefully the control mechanisms are in this
If I'm gonna
somewhere.
do that, I'm gonna come all the way over here and get this one. No, this is the optional. Come down here. Let's go, Frostbite. Need to remember to hit the old know the angles, you know what I mean? And then we're going to jump, hug a wall, so we don't take a bunch of damage. If you happen to have Featherfall, I'm not a big fan of Featherfall, so I don't carry on a lot of Featherfall stuff. There's a bad man. Might be able to... Oh, let's turn on our maximize here. So, this is a spell that I've really warmed up to. Friends, get up here. Lots of things for you to defeat up here, my man. I warmed up to it because it breaks items at ranged. So, I basically use it as a way to break breakables that I don't necessarily want to walk over and break. So that's how I kind of treat it. Oh, we may have to drink a healing potion. We'll see if we can get away with it. If you have nothing, these starter potions are actually not that bad. On the hardcore server, I would actually use them quite a bit. And I would even buy the ones out of the low-level vendors. The starter potions. The starter potions have the perk of working on any race, basically. So if you're a Warforged, you could use the starter potions and get full value out of them, but they're not, like, great. We're just going to slide down a pole. 5 damage is acceptable. And then we're going to break our ankles. Check the map for... Hey, get him over there. Check the map for where we've already been. Because we also have 2 sigil crystals here. Signal crystals we could run through. Run more faster. Chat, is there any questions or comments about this quest in particular that I should point out or talk about why we are doing a tutorial version on this quest? I can't think of anything in particular that like stands out to me. This is probably the first time we've been alerted though, green alerted. We can talk about alerts. Alerts are basically you have so many active monsters. You can the game wants you to know that you have too many. So at green, it's like, hey, there's a lot of monsters. Then it'll turn to orange or yellow, and then orange, and then red. At orange and red alert, the monsters start getting bonuses to say, hey, we would like to kill you now. Or at least make you clean up your additional aggro. Let's see. Tig says this quest is worth a hunk of experience. That is true. It's like 7,000 experience. Which is quite a bit. The rest of the quest have been averaging about 2,000 some. It's one of the reasons I mentioned that I like to skip levels 1 and if I can 2 and go straight to level 3. Even if you don't do that, even if you're like me and you have multiple TR lives, if you were to do the first handful of quests, I'm going to go ahead and drink a potion and click my shield spell. Even if you do the first handful of quests, you will get enough experience that you will probably go to level 1, or sorry, go to level 2 before you leave Korthos anyway. You may not make it all the way to level 3 before you get out of Korthos, but you'll definitely get to level 2 before you are halfway through. You'll probably get it, let's see, there are what, 3 quests, and then the bar, so 4. So those are a little bit less though. Yeah, you'll probably get it like the first or second quest out in the Explorer Zone. And then out here you'll get, like I said, around 6,000 or 7,000 experience. Town puts you at level 2 after a triple plus completionist. Or a triple plus TR. I'm not sure that's correct. Frenzy, get up here. Kill these guys. Oh, I made it green again.
As you engage the first control lever. But where is the second?
Tig says I always go to the wilderness at level 2. Well, there you go. I stand corrected. I was thinking those first couple of quests are a little over 1,000, but if they're 2,000, you'll get there. Level 1 to level 2, even on a triple completionist and better, is 8,000 experience points. So last I checked, 8 divided by 2,000 is 4 quests, and there are 4 quests exactly in town. So they average 2,000 experience, and you are good. Uh-oh, I guess we better help knock some of these things down. Frenzy is not doing the best here. Alright, we've pulled the 2 crystals. We are out of here. Oh, this is clear. So when you first show up here, you can see the dragon chasing the NPCs through the quest. Bloodshade, pretty good. Thank you for joining the stream. Again, we are recording this live on my Twitch channel, so... Whoa. Did I get turned around? I did get turned around. No! I ran like 30 seconds the wrong way. So, pretty good. Recording tutorials for YouTubes. So people will have a video reference for a lot of the various questicles. What server is the best server population-wise? That's a good question. The answer is always whatever the default server is. Whatever the default server will have the highest population at any given minute. That doesn't necessarily mean it's the most experienced server. In fact, that generally means the exact opposite. But if you're looking for just the most number of people and the most LFMs in general to join, slam join on that. I think it's Cannith at the moment. Maybe the default. If you're looking for... each server seems to have its own personality. So you might also just dance around a little bit on each server and see if there is a server that kind of fits your personality. Yeah, the guilds are usually a good spot to help decide if you like a server or not. Tend to find a good guild and you'll be happy wherever you're at. I always recommend, in my opinion, the best server, the Sarlona server. My server. But I'm a little bit prejudiced, I guess. So many boosts we've hit. This quest is taking ages. Ages and ages and ages. Alright, this should be the end. This infight's actually really cool. I know I don't want to give away the story for people who want to pay attention, but I usually don't bother watching this little infight over here, but we're going to do that this time because it's sweet.
The Mind Flayer and Dragon are locked in a contest of wills. This could be your chance to destroy the Mind Sunder. The Mind Flayer shrieks as it loses the Mind Sunder's power. The dragon reasserts its will and looks very annoyed.
That did not go very well for him, did it? Dun 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 dun. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and hit the X button, bring up so we can see exactly how much experience we get. The experience doesn't happen until we pop this.
And
So.
like magic,
14 minutes, 15 seconds. Oh,
Savior of Korthos.
for 7,000 experience.
But destiny
I will
has
say,
great
though,
plans for you.
it is worth it your first couple of times. This is the first set you can get in DDO. Let's see if I can find my anger set icon here. I'm wearing my anger set. Where is it? Alright. You get your first little set, and they're good ones. I mean, I don't want to say like they'll break your bank or whatever, but they're very good. They all take like a necklace slot and then some other slots, so you can really only wear one until a little bit later. Then you can wear a couple, but a little bit later they're not so great. But for level like 1 to 4, 1 to 5, they're very good. I'd highly recommend picking it up. I said I carry around an Anger's gift set that I've had for ages and ages. I even picked up a spare boot, even though I don't need a spare boot. But if you were a newer player, you would definitely want to have some of this Anger's step. When I was on the hardcore server, I would even run that quest that drops the Anger's step sometimes 2 or 3 times, just to get this clicky for when I'm a new player. That's 10 minutes of 25% run speed, which is pretty awesome. If you already have gone through once or twice, you don't think you're going to want the Anger set, maybe you're a caster, this Archivist necklace is actually also pretty good. You're going to get this clicky that restores a little bit of mana, which sometimes a little bit of mana is just enough to get you out of a weird situation. I will pick it up here, but I'm probably not going to carry it around for very long. So, all right, everybody. Well, that was Korthos Island. I hope you enjoyed this little walkthrough of Korthos Island. Next, we will take a look in the harbor and knock out most of those. So I hope you enjoyed. Again, please check out my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/SamusGarobo. Or if you happen to be one of the people watching live on Twitch right now, which I thank you very much, please consider going over to my YouTube channel, liking, subscribing over there. YouTube.com/SamusGarobo. It's all super easy. SAMIUSGUROBO. Alright, everybody. Thanks a whole lot, and I appreciate it. Toodles.